I'm going to train you in a tool called Three Circles. And this is a tool that we use to train others in to articulate the truth of the gospel and invite a response to follow Jesus at the end of it. So this is being used all over the world, and for me personally has been helpful to share the gospel with those around me. So I'm going to share it. It doesn't take long for us to agree that the world's broken. The moment you turn on your television or you turn to your Facebook feed, it's clear the world's broken. At the same time, there's traces of beauty in the world. The moment you look at a sunset, or when I heard my son laugh for the first time, there are beautiful things in this world that we can see. And the reason for that is God created everything perfect. Nothing was wrong with it. And He created us as humans to know Him and to enjoy Him forever. But the first man and the first woman, they turned their own way and away from God and His perfect design. And the Bible calls this sin. And it's the reason why we experience brokenness in our world today that we live in. We try to escape it because we don't like it. We try to escape it through things like climbing the ladder of success, thinking if we could make enough money in life, then we'd be okay. Others of us, like me, try to escape brokenness through religion, thinking if we are good enough, surely God will approve of us. Others of us try to numb what's there through drugs, alcohol, sex, thinking if we could just not feel the brokenness, then we'd be okay. None of these things promise deliverance, and they actually are like bungee cords, and we have this feeling of escape for a moment, and then they just snap us right back into the brokenness you and I feel. God provided the only way out through brokenness because He didn't want us to leave us there, and that's through Jesus. He entered our brokenness, but completely honored God. He did nothing wrong. And He did for us what we couldn't do for ourselves by dying on the cross for our sin. And He came back to life, showing that He had power over death and all the evil things in this world. He says, for those that turn from their sin and make Jesus the King over your life, He promises forgiveness from your sin and to restore you back into a right relationship with God, making you new for all of eternity, when in the beginning we were cut off from Him for all of eternity. So there's really only two types of people in this world. People that are living in brokenness, trying to escape their own way, but it doesn't work. Or people who have turned from their sin and believed in Jesus, that He came to do these things and made Him the King over their life. They've been made new and restored back into a right relationship with God for all of eternity. Which one are you? Is what I'm typically asking this person if I were sharing it with someone. And they're either going to say, I'm in brokenness, or I've been restored back to God through Jesus. And so let's say this person says they're in brokenness. Well, I'm going to ask them, is there anything that is keeping you from turning from your sin and believing in Jesus? And let's say they say no. And so I'm going to offer in that moment to help them make a decision if it's something they want to do. And I'm just going to say, hey, when I first decided to follow Jesus, someone helped me pray something like this. God, I'm sorry for my sin. I'm going to turn from my sin and believe in Jesus, that He came to do these things, and I'm making Him the king over my life. God, would you make me new? Just something simple like that. Would you like to pray something like that? And they're either going to say yes, or not right now, or I need to know more. And all those things are valid responses, and you'll be able to help them after that continue to take steps towards Jesus if that's something they want to do, and depending on what the Lord is currently doing in their life. So hopefully this is helpful. Like I said, personally, this has been helpful for me to share the gospel with those around me. This is being used all over the world to articulate the truth of the gospel with those who don't know Jesus.